The Beaches podcast is going to give you everything you want to know about a beach before you go there. I hope you enjoy the show. Be sure to check out our website, www.sandee.com. Without further ado, let's get into the show.
Okay, so you want to go to the beach, huh?
Sounds like it.
Looks like Cape May, New Jersey is the destination.
Beautiful spot.
Yeah, and I've got all your research right here.
Wow, that's quite the stack.
It is. Looks like you've been busy. Lots of articles and guides.
Well, gotta be prepared, right?
Right. And notes, too. I see some personal notes in there. You're really serious about this trip.
Absolutely. Cape May's been on my list for a while.
I can see why I'm getting excited just looking through all this stuff.
What have you found so far?
Beaches, of course.
Yeah.
That's a given. But also historical sites, whale-watching Victorian architecture.
Sounds about right. Cape May's got a little something for everyone.
I'm ready to dive into all this with you. You've synthesized all this info. What are the key things we need to know?
Well, first things first. When are we thinking of going?
Good question. When is the best time to visit Cape May?
Summer is the obvious answer. If you're a beach bum, that is, you want that perfect beach weather.
Sure.
But the shoulder seasons, spring and fall, they can be really nice too.
Yeah, less crowded, I bet.
Exactly. Fewer crowds, milder temperatures. And you know what that means.
Tell me.
Often better prices too.
Okay, see, that's a good tip right there. Saving money is always a good thing.
Always.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know when. Now, how are we getting there?
Let's see, I've got notes here about driving, flying, even some train options.
It really depends on where you're coming from and how you like to travel.
Right.
Driving gives you the most flexibility, but it can be a long haul.
Yeah, depending on where you're starting from.
Exactly. There are airports nearby Philadelphia and Atlantic City.
Right. I see those in your notes.
You could fly into either of those, and then it's a pretty easy drive to Cape May.
And the train.
Train's an option, but it usually involves transfers. Might not be the most efficient way to go.
Got it. Okay, so we're there. We've arrived. Bags are unpacked. Now what?
Now the fun begins. First decision. Which side of Cape May are we hitting up?
What do you mean?
You've got the Delaware Bay side and the Atlantic Ocean side.
Oh, right. Two different coastlines.
Exactly. Delaware Bay is known for calmer waters, perfect for families with little kids.
Makes sense. Safer for swimming, too.
Definitely. Or if you just want a more relaxed vibe, the Bay side is the way to go.
Okay, and the Atlantic side.
That's your classic ocean beach experience. Waves, surf, the whole shebang.
So it really depends on what you're looking for.
Exactly. Do you want to splash around in the waves or just chill by the calmer waters?
Good point. And are all the beaches the same, or are there some that stand out?
Oh, there are definitely some gems. For those sunset views you mentioned, Sunset Beach is a must-see.
No kidding. The name kind of gives it away.
It does. And you can find those famous Cape May diamonds there.
Diamonds on the beach? What are we talking about here?
They're not real diamonds. They're quartz pebbles, but they've been polished smooth by the waves.
Oh, cool. Like a natural souvenir.
Exactly. And then for the nature lover in you, we've got Cape May Point State Park.
Oh, yeah. I see that in notes.
Beautiful beach, of course.
Yep.
But also nature trails. Great for bird watching.
Okay, hold on. Before we get to the birds, I want to talk about this Victorian architecture.
Oh, yeah. Cape May is famous for it.
It's more than just a few pretty houses, right?
Oh, much more. Back in the 19th century, Cape May was the place to be. The elite would come here for the summer.
Fancy.
They built these incredible mansions in a very specific style. Carpenter Gothic.
Carpenter Gothic? Never heard of it.
Think gingerbread trim, whimsical details. Really ornate stuff.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Any specific buildings we should check out?
Definitely. You could do a walking tour and see a lot of them. But for a truly immersive experience, I'd recommend the Emlyn Physic Estate.
Okay, I'm writing that down. The Emlyn Physic Estate. Got it.
It's a perfectly preserved Victorian mansion, furnished with period pieces and everything.
Wow. A real step back in time.
Exactly. And speaking of stepping back, we should talk about shopping.
I saw something in your notes about a pedestrian mall.
Ah, yes. The Washington Street Mall. No cars allowed. Just a charming maze of boutiques and shops.
Sounds dangerous for my wallet.
You said it. Lots of tempting little shops, especially those saltwater taffy places.
I do love saltwater taffy. Okay, we've got beaches, architecture, shopping. What about the lighthouse?
Can't forget the Cape May Lighthouse. It's iconic.
We'd be remiss not to mention it.
You can climb to the top for some amazing views.
How many steps are we talking?
199 to be exact.
Worth it. I'm sure the view is incredible.
Oh, it is. Okay, now let's talk about the birds.
You mentioned Cape May being a birdwatcher's paradise.
It's true. Cape May is located right on a major migratory bird flyway.
So you see a lot of different species.
Tons. Especially during the spring and fall migrations, you might even spot some endangered species.
Wow. That would be amazing.
And speaking of amazing, don't forget about the whale watching tours.
Right. We can't leave those out.
You can see humpback whales, dolphins, even seals, depending on the time of year.
When's the best time for whale watching?
Late summer and early fall are usually the peak times.
Okay, got it. Now, after all this exploring, I'm sure we'll be hungry.
You're telling me, what's Cape May like for food?
The food scene is fantastic. Fresh seafood is a big deal there.
Of course, being right on the coast.
They've got oysters, clams, flounder, you name it.
I'm getting hungry just thinking about it.
Me too. But even if you're not a seafood fan, there are tons of other options.
Casual cafes, fine dining. Something for everyone.
You also mentioned wineries and breweries.
Oh, yeah. Cape May has a growing wine and craft beer scene.
So we've got beaches, Victorian architecture, nature, shopping, food, and drinks. Sounds like Cape May really does have it all.
It does. The key is figuring out what you want to prioritize. What kind of experience are you looking for?
Right. So listener, think about what you want out of your Cape May trip.
Do you want those calm bay beaches, or do you want the energy of the ocean?
Do you want to soak up the history or go on a foodie adventure?
And don't forget to check the event calendar for your travel dates.
There might be a festival or a fair happening while you're there.
Exactly. Always something going on in Cape May.
So there you have it, your deep dive into Cape May. We've given you the basics, the highlights, and hopefully some inspiration.
Now it's up to you to plan that perfect trip.
Have fun.
And enjoy those Cape May diamonds.
We'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you then.
Thanks for listening to the show, and be sure to tune in next week for your favorite episode about some of the best beaches and beach information in the world.